I'm coming to you live from Miss Rivers' remote classroom, and I wanted to let you know about the books that we're going to read this week. We are going to read 4 different books, and they're all about this topic: innovative thinking and creative problem solving. Now, if there's anything I want you to learn as a 4th grader and a human, it's this skill. So I'm really excited that those are the books we're going to read this week. And I want you to think about, as we read these books, why do people have a responsibility to try to right things that are wrong? You'll reflect on that this week. So our first book is called Ivan, the Remarkable True Story of the Shopping Mall Gorilla. Now, we already know, since it says true story, that this is going to be nonfiction, and many of you have read the book Ivan. This is just a shorter version of that. And you might be able to make some new connections based on your past understanding and learning. So let me dive right in. Ivan, the Remarkable True Story of the Shopping Mall Gorilla, by Newbery medalist Katherine Applegate, illustrated by G. Brian Carus. For everyone who loved Ivan. In a leafy calm, in gentle arms, a gorilla's life began. The baby was born in a tropical forest in Central Africa. He was part of a large family, a western lowland gorilla. The troop includes babies, juveniles, females, and a male leader, the silverback. Excuse me, I can't get it. The more the baby gorilla grew, the more he played. The more he played, the more he learned. He rode on his mother's back. He listened to the hoots and grunts and chest beats of his father. He watched the older gorillas, clever and quick, as they wrestled and chased and swung from the vines. He did not learn about humans until it was too late. Poachers were with loud guns. A cruel hand stole the little gorilla and another baby. After thousands of miles and endless days in a black, damp crate, at last came light and fresh air. The jungle green with life was gone. The gorillas had traveled halfway around the world to Tacoma, Washington. A man who owned a shopping mall had ordered and paid for them like a couple of pizzas, like a pair of shoes. I wonder how many of you have been to Tacoma before. It's close to Seattle. People cooed and laughed and held babies. They dressed them in human clothes and fed them human food. The shopping mall owner ran a Name the Babies contest. The winning names were Burma and Ivan. One dark day, soon after the babies arrived in their strange new world, Burma died. Without her, Ivan was all alone, with too much left to learn. While he was little, Ivan was cute and cuddly. For 3 years, he lived in a home like a human child. He slept in a bed and went to baseball games. He held babies and rode on a motorcycle. Cool. He had to learn many things gorillas in the wild don't ever need to know. One thing Ivan didn't need to learn was how to eat. The more he ate, the more he grew. The more he grew, the less he could live a human life like a human in a house. Seems like Ivan is becoming pretty human and less like a gorilla. What do you think about that? I'm going to have you respond on seesaw or whatever I tell you on our slide. And we're back. A cage in the mall became Ivan's new home. There wasn't much to do. Sometimes Ivan watched TV, sometimes he played with an old tire, sometimes he finger painted, signing the papers with his thumbprint. Mostly, he watched the humans watching him. Ivan was about 13 when his coat began to shimmer with silvery white hairs. He'd grown into a silverback gorilla in the jungle. He would have been ready to protect his family. But he had no family to protect. Year after year passed. People began to grow angry about Ivan's lonely life. Children and adults wrote letters and signed petitions and held protests. Sounds like they are thinking about trying to right things that are wrong. Ivan lived in his cage without the company of other gorillas for 27 years. Friends, I'm 29, so basically my whole life, this gorilla lived in a cage. Before he was sent to another journey, this time the hands were gentle. Zoo Atlanta wasn't a jungle. It was a place with walls. Still, the breeze carried jungle sounds and scents. Scientists who understood the needs of gorillas helped Ivan adjust slowly, carefully, gently to his new life. Finally, it was time. Was Ivan ready? Cameras clicked. Reporters watched. When Ivan stepped in the cool green grass, the sunlight gleaming on his silver hair, people cheered, yeah, and laughed, and wept with joy. Ivan, the shopping mall gorilla, was in place with trees and grass and other gorillas at last. In leafy calm, in gentle arms, a gorilla's life began again. Now, at the very end, the author says people cheered and wept with joy when they first saw Ivan at the zoo. Why do you think they did that? Again, you're going to share that response. My final thought, the very end of this book, are some of the true pictures and the true story about Ivan. We have Burma and Ivan. Oh, and even one of the paintings done by Ivan. I wonder what you think. If this problem were brought to your attention, what do you think is one way to creatively problem solve? To try to right the thing that was wrong in this story. This book shares the message that people can make sure animals in captivity are treated with care. Do you think that that's the right solution to the problem? Thanks for reading with me today.